Hey, it's Jared. In this video, we're going to talk about a variety of different tech products that bring value to my life. Some of them I purchased on my own, and they were something that I was looking to solve a problem. And others, I wasn't aware of them until a company reached out to me and asked if I would like to take a look at the product. I'll make sure to let you know which is which. And also, this video is not sponsored by any means. I'm just showcasing some things that I think you might find interesting because I sure did. The first is a pretty simple one. It is a MagSafe battery for my phone. Now, why is this MagSafe battery anything special? Well, it's also a battery bank, and so it serves two purposes. Number one, it tops off my phone when I need additional battery power on my phone. Maybe it was a heavy day where I was filming a lot with my phone, or I was just a lot of screen on time, and I need a little bit of extra juice, and I'm not near a plug, or I don't want to be up against the wall near a plug with my device. This MagSafe battery is great. You just simply snap it onto the back. Even through a MagSafe case, it works great. Then you just have to power it on. So if I press the button down, you can see I've got full power on this. If I press and hold it for a couple of seconds, it powers on. I just heard my phone or felt my phone vibrate. And there it goes, it toggled on and we are charging. And what's great about this is that I get over a full charge out of my battery. So if my phone is like at 5%, I could throw this on there. I'm going to get my phone all the way up to 100% with this battery attached to the back. Now, it's not something that I would want to leave attached to my phone all the time because it does add quite a bit of thickness. But because of the size of the battery in here, I can get a good charge out of my phone. And if I don't need it for my phone, I could plug a device in USB-C to this and charge it. I've actually used this to charge up a GoPro camera that was running dead before. Obviously, a GoPro and stuff like that doesn't have MagSafe, but this nice flat base means that it's going to sit nicely on a surface and it's not going to roll off or become any problem, but I can charge another device over a cable using USB Type-C. And then when I need to charge this up, I can charge it via USB-C as well. And so I carry this with me all the time. I make sure it's charged up. I'll take it and put it in my truck if I know I'm going to be in and out of my truck a lot and using my device a lot. And otherwise, I'll keep this in my bag because I know that I can either top off my phone or I could top off another device via USB-C cable if I need to. So this is a great device. It's not the biggest of battery banks out there, but as far as MagSafe goes, it's got a ton of power to charge my phone and also to charge other devices as well. This device is something I did not know that I would need until I was made aware of it. And it's because the company reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to take a look at this. They probably didn't realize when they sent it to me that I actually have my private pilot's license. And when you're flying small aircraft, monitoring carbon monoxide in the air is pretty important. And so this is a carbon monoxide reader or detector, I guess you could say. And so what it's doing is it's monitoring the air quality for carbon monoxide, and it will report how much carbon monoxide is in the air. Thankfully, we are at 0, which means that the air in the room that I'm in right now is perfectly safe to breathe. However, if I happen to go put this behind the exhaust of a car or something like that, then we'd start to see readings appear here on the screen. And there's a certain range. As the range gets higher, there's less amount of time that you want to spend breathing that air. Now, this isn't just good for somebody who flies like me. This is great to have in maybe an older vehicle. This is great to have in a RV or travel trailer where you have your whole family inside. You also have heater and other propane type devices that are in there as well. It's important to monitor the air quality because exposure to natural gases, stuff like that, or exhaust from a vehicle is a slow burn. It slowly kind of affects you and then becomes a problem and can incapacitate you. And so having a device like this, especially one that is rugged and watertight, and so this is something that can get wet. So depending on the circumstances that you're in, if it gets wet, it's not going to hurt it. I love that it has this little clip here as well. I will clip this to my bag that I keep all of my stuff in that I go and fly with. And so when I toss my bag in the back of the plane, I power this on. It's got a very, very loud beeper or buzzer. And so when it detects that there's a problem, it starts beeping and I can hear it even when I'm in a loud, small airplane. And so I'll just go ahead and power it down. You can hear, I mean, it's pretty loud. and then that's powered off. So it also has memory as well. It's a fantastic device to have because not many things have carbon monoxide detectors in them, and it's important to know if you have any sort of leak or issue going on in the air that you're breathing. And so this is a great device, something I highly recommend having, especially if you have an RV, if you camp and you have some sort of a heating element that you put in your tent. Any of those scenarios, you want to monitor the air quality and make sure that carbon monoxide is not in the air that you're breathing, or at least is not in the air that you're breathing for very long, so that you can figure out what's going on, get that air cleared out, and maintain a safe environment. Now, this part's going to seem a little bit extra, and it's not a tech item, but a company sent me a chair. And this chair is very comfortable, and I'll put the specs in the video. I'll also put a link to it down below. What I love about this chair is that it reclines way back, which is fantastic for relaxing, and it also has great lumbar support. Now, why is a chair important? Because we spend lots of time in chairs, especially if you're like me, you're finishing up the editing on your videos, you're responding to emails, you spend some time in a chair. And so having a comfortable chair is important. And this one has a lot of good support, including head support and neck support as well for when you really just need it. And a lot of times I don't, but I've grown to appreciate it with this chair. Chairs are something that I don't really think of that much because I just sit down in them and I get to work, and chairs are either comfortable or uncomfortable. But this chair I can comfortably spend a lot more time in. Got adjustable armrests that also kick in and out, and I know I'm not showing you a whole lot right now, but it sure is nice just to lean back and relax sometimes. And so if you're looking for an office chair that has those features, check out the link below. So the next thing we're going to look at is this microphone from Movo. This attaches to an iPhone, and of course you can see it is Lightning. And so from iPhone 15 on, now that USB-C is becoming the standard, this device is not going to work on those newer phones, but it is going to work on the current versions of the iPhone, older versions of the iPhone, iPads, and stuff like that support USB Type-C. Now, why would you need something like this? Well, so if you do any form of filming with your phone or video calls and stuff like that, and you want to improve the audio quality, obviously the further you remove the phone away from you, the worse the audio quality is going to get, because you're moving the microphone source further away from your mouth, which is where the audio is coming from. So when you attach a device like this, which depending on the case you have, so you might have to remove your phone from the case, and then you plug in this device into the base here, and you can see the blue light. It is ready to pair. And then I can power this on just by pressing and holding, and it will power on. And the two devices connected to each other. When you see the blue light solid, you know that they're connected. And this essentially is just a clip-on mic. It's chargeable via USB-C, so no batteries that have to be changed. You just simply charge it via USB-C. And then I could put my phone in video mode, hit record, and I am getting audio straight through this microphone instead, which is closer to my mouth. It's going to be better in wind situations. And of course, if you're filming and the phone is further away from you, then this is the best option, is to have a microphone as close to you as possible. And a microphone that's wireless means that you're not going to have wires that get in the way or any issues like that. So definitely Movo is a great product to have on hand, especially if you do any form of filming like this and you want better audio quality. So definitely pretty cool device to have. This is something that was sent to me, this little mini wireless system from Movo. I like this because it's specific for the iPhone, and it's not typical microphone system that I would use for cameras, which are going to require adapters and all sorts of stuff like that. The more adapters you need, the more attachments that you need to make everything happen, there's more opportunity to forget things. This comes with a nice little pouch, and it also has a windscreen that you can put over the mic as well. So, I mean, if you're outside and it's windy, it will further knock down the wind noise. You just slip it over the microphone itself. So Movo, thanks for sending that. 2.4 gigahertz microphone wireless system that works great with the iPhone, as long as you have an iPhone that is Lightning. And I'm sure that they'll come out with a new version that's USB-C, because that's where everything is going. So next, we're going to take a look at two little radios. Now, these radios I purchased off of Amazon. And the reason that I purchased these radios and put these giant antennas on top of them is because I go hiking a lot with my family. We go hiking, we go off into the wilderness, and it's good to have a form of communication. Now, these type of radios do require having a ham radio license. And I do not have a ham radio license currently. I'm studying for that, and I just wanted to put that out there. You are supposed to have that sort of license in order to transmit on these radios. And so I'm putting out there publicly that I do not transmit on these radios, but I would transmit on these radios in a situation where I needed to save my life or the life of someone else. In an emergency situation, I would transmit and would not care about the ramifications because life is more important than rules. And so these radios are great because with these big antennas on them, they transmit quite a distance. Now, typically radios like this can transmit, several miles, even with the standard antenna that comes on it, as long as you're not back behind a mountain or somewhere out of line of sight. But with these big antennas, they transmit quite a bit further. I went ahead and put this little paracord attachment on here, which is just nice. Gives you a little bit of something else to hold on to. Maybe put a finger in between just to have a good grip on it. There's also the belt clip that it came with. And then I got these longer antennas. I'll link to them below if you're interested in any of this. And then I got the antennas that have this quick remove adapter. And I got that because I wanted to be able to switch between the long and the short antennas. Now, this particular model, which is the most popular, the UV5R, it has this kind of bracket on it. And the reason that I got that was, I guess, probably just because I wanted it to look cool. And I also wanted something that made it more challenging for me to push buttons, because if this is on me, I have it on me and I'm listening, because it's not illegal to listen to a certain channel or maybe an emergency channel or something like that. I want it to be close to me where I can hear it. And I don't want to accidentally hit a button because, like I mentioned before, I don't yet have my license and I shouldn't be transmitting on it, even in an emergency situation, but we already went over that. So these radios, the reason that I went with them is because they're about the best thing that you can get for the dollar. This particular radio without the big antenna on it is like $25, and that's insane. It comes with a battery, it comes with a belt clip. I added this little bracket around it just to make it harder to push the buttons so that I don't accidentally trigger buttons, and also I don't accidentally turn the volume up or turn it off. That was like $20 or something, and then the extra antenna I think was about another $20. So for under $100, I outfitted myself for any situation. This is a great communication device, and soon I will have my license, and then I can communicate on it legally, which, like I said, I haven't done yet. But I have a second one because once I get my license, I want to be able to communicate with a family member and be able to communicate with them. Obviously, they won't be able to communicate back without their license, but now we're getting into the weeds and we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. So if you are a ham radio person, just know that I do respect the rules, I follow the rules, and I'm working on getting my license so that I can communicate. What are we going to look at last? Well, it is power outlets for those of you that travel. And, I don't travel internationally often at all, but this may replace my travel power outlet because it's just so stinking cool. Now, this is kind of big, and you can see here there's obviously different options for power outlets in different countries. But the way that this works is really, really stinking cool. So you've got these levers on the side. You slide this out for US and Australia, and you've got the US-Australia plug here. Slide this one out, you've got the UK plug, and then we have Europe here, or the EU, and we've got the plug for that. And all of that is popping out of this one single device, which is amazing. But then we also have PD charging. The other one, the reason that this label's on here is because the other one is basically the same thing, and that's the one that I've been using. But I also wanted to show you the fact that this does not convert voltage, and so you want to be careful. This doesn't convert voltage. And so if you plug something into the other end, notice this has pass-through. That label's important, maybe even to leave on, just in case you forget, because other countries have a different voltage levels as well, so you got to be careful there. But essentially, this end you would plug into the wall, so boom, plug that end into the wall, and then you could plug this in to your device. And so this can be an adapter. If I go to Europe, boom, I've got plug for Europe right here, and then I could plug my US devices in here, or vice versa. A fantastic device. But we have PD charging here. We have another USB here. On this side, we have 3 USB type A ports with fast charging support as well. And so this is just an overall pretty cool, interesting device for those of you that find yourself needing charging capabilities and also an outlet converter when you're traveling to different countries. So the name of the company is Epica. That's actually an E. And I'm very thankful that they sent me this because this type of device will come in handy. I'll make sure to link to it down below because this is something that you definitely need. Now, it's also fused as well. So should you make a mistake and plug in something at the wrong voltage level, it comes with extra fuses and you can change out the fuse inside of it. You just have to pop the little door off and you can change out the fuse should you accidentally overvolt something and overtax this plug. It'll throw a fuse rather than damaging your device, which I think is fantastic. Definitely a pretty cool device. Epica, I guess, is the name, and I'll link to it down below. Those are tech devices that I've been utilizing in my life. I mean, even though I haven't been traveling internationally, having this as kind of a power distribution block, having 2 USB Type-Cs and 3 USB Type-As, and still being able to plug another device into it, that's a struggle that I deal with when I am in hotels, is having enough power outlets to support all of my different charging devices that just have one port on it. So with this, I don't have to worry about that. So even if you're not traveling out of the country, something like this is a great option. Let me know what your favorite piece of small tech is down in the comment section below. You got something I should check out? I'd love to hear about it. But that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for being here. We'll see you in the next one.